What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to follow up our PvP video that we saw a little earlier today, and thanks to Brownie's S-tier Star Swordsman Mockman being in the front row, we have a really good topic to talk about, and that is Star Swordsman Mockman is not just a front row hero, and he's actually going to become like a better front row hero in the future, which is kind of insane to think about. Not quite yet, but eventually we're going to talk about how he's going to get ridiculously overpowered. He's already strong. If you guys didn't see it, check out earlier today's PvP video. It was probably posted like 3 or 4 hours ago, something like that. This hero is awesome. So what made this hero so strong? Well, it's actually part of the stance that we don't talk about much. Usually we talk about Star Descending because that's the one where he attacks the Omen Rift targets over and over and over. You've always seen us use Star Swordsman Mockman starting in the back row with his nice yellow glow around him. Well, Star Ascending can be just as strong. So if you take a look at his active skill here, it's pretty interesting. When in Star Ascending, reduces the attack of the 2 enemies with the highest attack by 25% and grants itself ascending energy. This energy here is, of course, the same thing. When taking active skills or basic attacks, you gain a layer of it, dealing damage to all enemies, and then deals damage by 50% to one more time with Omen Rift. So this ends up being a really interesting skill here, because also the Resolute Swordship passive skill basically states this: when taking active skill or basic attack damage while in that Star Ascending form, the blue one from the front row start, there's a 35% chance to gain 1 layer of awakening energy and restores HP. So that's kind of really cool. It's another way for him to generate some health and such. It's actually pretty good. A lot of his passives have to do with this. When the battle starts, or when self blah blah blah, if self's the front line, you get the Star Ascending. And right here it says at the end of each round, restore self by HP equal to attack and increases all allies block by 35%. That has some really good synergy with Hyperspace Hunter Ilamok on your team, pretty much helping your team guarantee to get those blocks. You can see why Star Ascending in the back row, all damage dealt by 50%. That's just amazing. That's why he does so much damage in the back row versus the front row. But front row gives him a lot more survivability. Basic attack here changes with Star Ascending, deals damage equal to 8% of the target's max HP to frontline enemies 2 times. That's cool and all. If we do take a look at his sublimation stuff, usually you don't go for like the full blown out noble sublimation just because it's a little bit worse. Not like bigly, but a little bit worse. But overall, if you do want to go to Destiny Transition, you do need to max all this stuff out. That does mean everything is getting a buff here. You're getting some really cool bonuses too. When you're in Star Ascending form, frontline allies gain armor, which is kind of something that's kind of neat that you don't normally see. I think also on his active skill, reduces the attack for 3 rounds when Star Ascending instead of 1 round, and then when launching a successful chase attack, it deals damage, extra 1 extra chase, all that stuff. I don't know if he was using his core, but whenever switching between those states, additional skill effects take place based on the current state. Star Ascending, you get more damage reduction for your team, all that fun stuff. The tree isn't all that big when it comes to this hero, but when we get to Destiny Transition, this is where the hero can start to become very strong. So it says when taking damage from active skills or basic attacks in the state of Star Ascending, consumes 6 layers of transition power. So again, it kind of sucks at first because it consumes, but it deals a huge amount of damage to frontline enemies. Also inflicts damage equal to 10% of max HP if self is in Star Descending. So of course, across the whole battle, you will switch forms. But in reality, this isn't super strong because of the fact that it consumes that transition power. He is actually one that's not a bad candidate for when taking damage from active or base attacks. There's an 80% chance to gain a layer. Kind of wish this was 100. I don't know why they never made this 100. But you can see here there's a bunch of extra things you can do. You can have, extra damage on this node. You can lower the target's attack even more. No matter what state you deal damage to frontline enemies inflict based on HP, you can do a huge burst to all AoE. And then again, there's a bunch of different hits that you can get in here. People are going to be able to get to this very soon, but the big part, the big payoff, I think, for investing in this hero is going to come in the form of this right here, because, well, it's really, really strong. Changes the skill to when taking damage from active or base attacks. If self has 6 more layers, you do a huge frontline enemy hit. Just remember, this does not say consume. So the second you get to 6 layers, you continue to do this up until 12, which is part of the reason why I almost feel like this is better. The fact that you gain 1 at a time, because baselet means every single time you get hit and you generate, like, or actually you don't even have to generate another one. Once you get to 6 and every time you get hit with it, you're going to continue to do this frontline hit just every time you get hit, which is really, really powerful. If you do go the route where you're getting like this, you basically have until your next active that you'll continue to do this. But I don't know. I can't, depending on the situation, this might be one of the heroes that I really like this. But again, it's going to take a while to get all the way down to this Moon Abyss here. But it's really strong. When you do get to 12 layers, it does consume them and deals a huge burst damage as well. So you kind of have to decide if you want to stick in that 6 range or if you want to go for the 12 with extra chances for attack. But as you guys saw, and I'll show you guys in a video right here, if you guys don't want to check out earlier's video, him being in front row is extremely strong and extremely tanky. So we're going to use basically the same team we used earlier as well, and you're going to see the power of this here. We're going to watch the entire one, watch this be the one time I actually beat this team. But we have, of course, our Betty doing our big damage. However, she doesn't get an active off because she did get energy drained, and now we're going to see the power of this hero here. Even though, you'll notice, even though he's CC'd and everything, he can still do his counterattack from Queen and things like that, and it becomes pretty powerful. So we're going to watch this battle fully. You can see my method of going with the Theros of Blood Betty didn't work out fine. He basically healed himself at the end of the round as well. And now he pretty much has free reign to do what he wants. On top of that, he is getting that buff from Doppelganger and Natalia. The one thing I would say is Elena feels like a little anti-synergy with him, just giving him a chance to dodge. He's already procced Unbending, so you'd think that would be an immediate issue. But as we watch this play out, you'll see him do his counterattacks and fun stuff, and he'll do some really, really big damage. Oh, wow. We actually got some CC off, which is kind of surprising. But you're going to see at the end of this, the damage numbers should look pretty insane. It does mean the battle goes on for quite a while. It's not like an instant win here. You're going to see him get another active skill off. He is still in that ascending form, the starting form right there. So he hits. Oh, he actually got stunned. That's kind of big. Hyperspace Hunter Island Mock kind of got a good payoff there. And there he goes again. He gets that big counterattack hit off, just kind of cleaving the entire enemy side. Wow, we got another CC off. This is the highest RNG I've had against Brownie's team. Absolutely insane. But you see right there, again, he gets hit. He does that big cleave against the entire team, and he's still in that ascending form. Even having all of the sublimations and stuff, it still takes a while for him to transition over to the other form, which is kind of the goal here. We want him to do that because he does that big cleave attack every single time he gets hit. He's going to get hit here again. And then he's gonna again, we get the cleave from him, taking out our Doom Terminator Vulcan, and we have the ping damage from Queen, so it's like a 1-2 combo. We also have counterattacks from other heroes, like Hyperspace Hunter Islamok, from Doppelganger Natalia. They're all doing counterattacks. We did finally transition over to the Star Descending form. You can see by the yellow glow around Star Swordsman Mockman now. So when he does get an active off now, it's going to be a big burst hit. And yes, he's still using melodic strings besides all, you'd think he wouldn't be, but he is. He still is. And if he does get another active off, I don't know if he's going to make it there. It's going to be a big burst for the victory. Yeah, there you go. And you can just see the amount of destruction this hero can provide. Granted, he's an S tier, but again, very, very strong. Maybe he even has Shipbreaker too to deal extra damage against shields. I don't know. So let me know if you've tested this out on your own account, but Brownie has had some pretty good success, especially against our team. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what other types of PvP content you'd love to see. I'm kind of in a PvP kick, even though I don't get into PvP too often in Auto Heroes. It's kind of fun right now. It's an interesting meta figuring out these heroes. A new hero coming out next week as well we'll have to try. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.